Hey guys, Toolman Tim here. Welcome back to the workshop where we build business, create community, find freedom, and share success. It's Wednesday, which means it's time for another Tool Time Gear review, and I've got another good one for you this week. I've got an upgrade for my above ground pool that has taken a lot of the work out of keeping it crystal clear. So hang in there, I'll be right back. Alright guys, real quick before we dive into the review, if you're new here, run by toolmantim.co to find out everything there is to know about our community and channel. Check out all my social media links, Float, MeWe, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and Odyssey. Follow us over there, become part of the community, share your knowledge, and I'll turn around and share that knowledge back with everyone else. So thanks guys. And if you're looking for, say, a recommended product or a solution to a problem, run by toolmantim.shop. I got over 100 Amazon links there to point you in the right direction for getting paint off vinyl siding or hanging heavy pictures without drilling holes, stuff that's made me money or saved me money. So run by, check that out. Anything you pick up off there through Amazon, we get a small commission to help support the content I create. So thank you guys. You know I always appreciate that. So this week, guys, again, I've got another oddball item. It's been an oddball month, but it was stuff that I'd either run my test through and really enjoyed it, or it was something like today's product, the sand filter pump for a pool, that I wanted to get a review out there while there was still good weather for swimming, so people might actually want to watch the video and learn something from it. So, that being said, I don't know how many of you guys, well, if you're watching this, you probably have, you're either a community member or you're somebody looking to upgrade your filter for your pool. And a few years ago, when we first started getting into above ground pools with our kids, it was literally like having a second part-time job. It drove me to want to drink. If I wasn't skimming it, then I was testing the chemicals or balancing the chemicals or washing out the filter or stressing over all the silt and dirt that got on the bottom of the pool that the filter and pump system wouldn't pick up. And I was trying to build things. I even built this redneck pool pump that involved a shop vac, tuck tape, and a lot of wasted water. Don't ask me about it. It didn't, it worked, but it didn't work. So at the end of that summer, the first year, I said, I'm done. Dried out the pool, packed it up, put it on Facebook Marketplace, and said adios. The next year, we bought the girls a pool pass to the local public pool, and we said, that's it, guys. We'll run you over all you want. And then after the first year, the kids, of course, Dad, we don't really like going to the public pool. We really want to get an above ground pool. And we'd moved into our new property here, and it had really good southern exposure for where the pool could go. So I thought, okay, let's give it a chance. And if you guys know, I am a set it and forget it kind of guy. I don't mind putting in a ton of work, a ton of research into setting up systems, but once they're set up, I want them to be as idiot proof and to require the least amount of work as possible. And you know what? Over time, we got pretty good at that with the pool. 3 real things. I use a product called Clorox Clarifier. It works great to knock the junk out of the pool and put it to the ground. I got the Intex vacuum, which works great for sucking all that silt off the bottom. Doesn't take much work at all. But this year, I realized, you know what? The next big thing that really takes up time and is really frustrating is them 2 things. Number 1, the cartridges are small, and I got to wash them every single day to get rid of the junk from the pool. And so the other day, the pool filter was acting up a little bit, and it tripped a breaker. And I thought, okay, well, I put it into a new plug, turned the breaker back on, and my daughter hollers, Dad, the pump's on fire! So I hit the breaker, unplugged it, pulled it out, and it had either got a flat spot, who knows what happened, but something happened in that motor. It started smoking, and those things are grossly underpowerful for what you get with a pool. So it was time. We were in a panic. We needed to get one. So we ordered a replacement one of those. But in the meantime, we started looking, and I thought, you know what? I've heard about these sand filters. I need to try one of these things out. Now, my brand is called a Summer Waves. There's also an Intex, and they are basically identical other than the color. The Summer Waves works with Intex pools. The Intex works with Summer Wave pools. And the one we could get the quickest was Summer Waves. We got ours off Walmart, but they're available on Amazon. When we picked ours up, it was around $250 Canadian. And pool pumps are hard to come by this year, guys. So it's really cool. I want to show you what comes in the box, the setup, and all of that. So we're going to cut over to there in just a second, and then we'll come back here and I'll talk to you a little bit more about the process some of the dumbass mistakes I made, and hopefully so you don't have to repeat them. All right, guys, so we have our normal little tiny standard Intex pool filter that I have to basically, made by Best Way, I believe, and I basically have to rinse out the filter every single day. The pool's starting to clarify, get pretty nice again, but we burnt through one of these already this year, bought another one of these in a panic, and decided it was time to upgrade to something better. So, come with me. We are going to go through the installation, assembly, all of that stuff of this Summer Waves. This is a 10-inch sand pump, sand filter, sand pump, whatever you want to call it. Has a higher gallons per minute rating. It's supposed to last longer and only need to backwash it about every 2 weeks. So we will see. Hang in. Okay, so here we are. This is the little container the sand goes in. Got your hoses here, clamps. That's a sand filter or a sand cap that helps you fill up the inside without filling up that dip pipe there. Here's our fittings, instruction manual, assembly manual. There's the pump assembly and a very nice long cord with a reset switch on it. So here we are. I'm going to start putting it together. We'll come back and show you the finished product. Okay, so this is, what do they call that? Number 20 quartz sand. So we can find it in the book here for you. Right there, silica sand, sorry, right there. It's about $11 for a 20-pound bag. I'm not sure how many bags I'm going to need. I bought 4. But this is what we are going to dump in here. This is the sand cover, so it doesn't go down in the filter hole. Put that on like so, and we'll dump it in, see what happens. I'll let you know. Okay, so we used 1 bag and about 2/3. So somewhere between 30 and 35 pounds of silica sand. And if you can see inside, there's the max line, just below the max line. I give it a good little shake, but not too crazy so it could settle down. Just needs to be between the min and the max line, and when you add water, it'll settle a little bit. All right, guys, so I hope that helped a little bit to show you how it's set up, what it looks like when it's running. It's a real simple process. You basically look at the pressure gauge on the side, you see where it's at, and after a few days, it'll about double what the pressure was, and then it's time to clear it out. And you literally turn the power to the pump off, switch the 6-way valve on the top to backwash, open up the little port and let it backwash for about 30 seconds. Then you turn the pump off, you switch it over to filter or settle or whatever, and cleaning, and it settles down the sand that's inside the pump. Do that for about 30 seconds, turn the pump off, put your port, close your port back up, and then switch it back over to regular filter, and then you don't have to worry about it. Now, I got to tell you something. I made a few mistakes hooking this thing up, and I'm still getting used to how it works, and it is really starting to work really well. But the first thing I did, and I do not know how I did this, but when I hooked it up, I reversed the in and the out. And as soon as I turned that damn pump on, about 1/4 of the sand in the filter went right into the pool. That's a pain in the ass to get cleaned up. So don't do what I did. Make sure you got it hooked up properly. Then before you start actually filtering the pool water, do the backwash procedure, then do the settle procedure, then start filtering the water in the pool. You'll have a much better time than I did. If your pool's really dirty, you're going to have to do that every day. Like you're going to have to backwash and everything every day for a while until the pool settles down. Once it does, they say you can go up to 2 weeks with a sand filter, and it works. So the next question was, does it come with sand? No, it does not come with sand because it would be too damn heavy and too cost prohibitive, I'm sure, for the company to ship it out and get it out there. So you have to buy number 20 silica sand. It's a really fine stuff. It's almost like some of the stuff maybe they'd use in sandblasting, but it's really, really fine. I picked mine up at Canadian Tire, but it's available at pool supplies, big box stores, everywhere. How much sand does it use? Well, mine's a 10-inch, and I had no clue. I bought 4 bags, 4 20-pound bags, and because I basically wasted the entire first batch, I used most of all of it, but it took about 30, 35 pounds of sand. Make sure you get it in there, then put some water in, let some water in, and then put some more sand in and go right up to the max line, because what I found was after I washed out about half my sand, the filter was basically useless. It was just cycling dirt, and yeah, it didn't do a good job. It's not expensive, but it's not cheap, so I wish I hadn't wasted all that sand and put it into the pool, but hopefully you guys can learn from my mistake. Now, the next thing that I really love about these sand filter pool pumps is the fact that they are way, way more powerful than them chintzy little Intex pumps that you get. The little ones you get like this, they're just kind of like if you're blowing around with a straw or whatever, and it really doesn't do a good job circulating and cycling out the water. But these 10-inch, and they do make bigger ones, so if you have a bigger pool, check it out. But the 10-inch sand filter pump, way more powerful pump motor on it, and it pushes the water all the way across my pool. Makes a huge difference. Yeah, try saying that 12 times fast. Anyway, puts more oxygen in the water, circulates it better, filters it better. And you know what's cool? If I'm inside and I look outside, I can see, oh, the filter isn't running as well because there's not as much of a jet of water coming out. But it's that strong that I can look out from the kitchen and see that the water's pushing all the way across. So if you guys are looking for a system, like I said, it was around $250 Canadian, so it's a bit of an investment. But I really wanted to set up something that I did not have to spend all summer working with on this pool. And this sand filter is really good. And I think in the long run, it probably will save some money once it's set up and running, because that sand is good all year. I go through a lot of filters, but for me, it's the time. Because every time I wanted to, I had to lift that old filter up, take the old cartridge out, reseal it, put it back down, walk over, give it a wash, and it just never cleaned out very good. It did okay, but I would go through filters quite a bit. But the time savings for me has been good. And the fact that it's giving me really, really clear water at this point makes me really happy. I'll probably do a follow-up video on this one down the road just to let you know how the interaction has been with it over time. But honestly, if you guys are looking for an upgrade you can make to an above ground pool to take a lot of the maintenance out of it and to not have to use those reusable cheap filters, a sand filter might be the way for you to give it a shot. So if you guys have used one of these, let me know. I'd love to hear in the comments what your thoughts on it were, because I think it's a really cool product that I took a chance on. Hey, if I didn't like it, I could have always sent it back if I wasn't happy with it. But in this instance, it's really, really worked well for me. I'm happy with it. But like I said, if you guys have any other recommendations on keeping your pool clean, and more importantly, making sure that you don't have to put a lot of work into above ground pools, because if I got to work on them, I don't want to work on them. I always got other things I want to get done. So put some recommendations down there for me. If you guys are new here and you want to hang around, like I said, 5 videos a week focusing on tool reviews and getting more done out of your life, hit that subscribe button, hang around, become part of our community, interact in the comments, and share your knowledge base. I love it, guys. That's what I'm here for. I always appreciate you guys dropping by, hanging out with me in the workshop, because that's why I started this channel, because my wife got tired of listening to me talk about tools. So thanks for dropping by, guys, and as always, stay happy, stay healthy, and have a great week.